Greetings and welcome to Die Drink and Die presents The Titan's Gift, Season 3, Episode 4. I am your DM and host, Marty, joined by the full Seattle crew, although they could be from anywhere. At this point, who knows? What is geography? How is everyone doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
My mic is still cold.
It's now toasty. It's toasty worm. It's toasty worm.
Okay.
It's warm and toasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just strategizing as to how we're going to do a pig napping. Is basically what it boils down to.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Yeah. Outside of that, man, things are going pretty well. I'll go first since I started talking. Been prepping a Pathfinder module called Cradle of Night, which is set in sort of shadow-shrouded Nightall. If you follow Galarian's lore, we finished up Shattered Star a few weeks ago, so I'm volunteering to DM a module following up for that. So that's been pretty exciting.
Cool.
Good on you.
Yeah. Outside of that, keeping up on Winter Soldier, which has been super good lately. No spoilers. Yeah, not too much else.
I haven't seen any of Winter Soldier, but a lot of people are talking about it.
Oh, and still playing Outriders. Outriders is still fun.
Okay. I've heard of that one too. I don't know too much about that game.
It's a looter shooter, so if you have fun shooting stuff, you can have fun. I don't know what else to tell you. Shoot you to the face.
I like that.
What about you guys?
What about us? You want to go, Matt? You seem like you almost had an answer there.
Nah, I mean, I don't. I haven't been doing a whole lot. Work, a little bit of house stuff. I did get my first shot
Nice.
recently, so that's good news. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of about it. Yeah,
That's good. Shots, good news.
That is good news. I
playing
think
some Dwarf Fortress.
we're all jealous of that.
Oh yeah, you've
how's
been
that
playing
going?
Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, tell us about this.
It's going fine. I've got. I'm trying to keep the unhappy dwarves out of my main fort. And my main fort like completely perfectly encapsulated and safe. That's going okay. Yeah.
Just some sort of stratified society.
Building some machinery to pump water around.
Just the cast-off dwarves that are just crushed by the wheel of the elites.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this guy could have been one of the elites, but he's in a doom spiral, and so we got to kick him out to the outer fort where where fun can happen, and try and keep fun out of the main fort. So there you go.
It's some sort of quarantine plan of happiness.
Yes.
That guy's going to play remotely.
Do you ever have to kick anyone off the island because they became unhappy?
Occasionally, they become so unhappy that they start damaging people and starting fights and pulling random levers, and then you need to send them down a long hallway and collapse the cavern on them, or flood it with magma or something like that.
So you murder people when they become unhappy. Well, I guess self-destructive, right? Like if they're attacking people and
endangering the dwarves.
The levers, man,
Sounds like The Sims.
Just pushing buttons that you don't understand.
I mean, to be clear, he's not running for mayor here.
Well, there is a mayor, and the mayor is happy at the moment, so I don't have to Adam smash the mayor.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Which version are you playing? Are you playing the version with the ASCII graphics, or the version that they released on Steam, or will be releasing on Steam?
The ASCII graphics one with a tile set. So it's not like pure ASCII.
Okay.
But there are still a lot of letters.
Just around, yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the updated Steam one to come out. I want to play it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I've tried to get into the original Dwarf Fortress, and there's just too much ASCII in there for me.
Yeah, I stared at it the first time and went, oh, I can't.
Yeah, it's like, I can't.
It's too beautiful for me,
It's also super frustrating that some menus, you bring them up, and they're searchable if you press Q and then type the thing you're searching for. And some menus you bring up and they're searchable if you type S and then type the thing you're searching for. I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
That reminds me of my Mac.
Q and S are at least pretty close on the keyboard.
I mean, sure, it's an extremely user hostile interface.
You just have to remember which ones are searches and which ones are queries. That's all.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, I assume that's probably it.
Think
Come
about
on. How hard is it to?
I mean, and it's also built by one guy, right? So like, it's not like, oh well, there were a dozen contributors and they all.
Isn't Bay 9 Games two brothers?
Yeah. Tarn, I think, is the main programmer though.
Oh, is he the? Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know that much about it. I mean, I used to work with a couple of guys who played it, and like half a day every day they would talk about Dwarf Fortress. But I'm talking, 2006, 2007, somewhere there.
Yeah,
in the before time. In the before.
Yeah.
Before time.
Certainly before COVID.
the way long time ago of 2006.
Yeah, I'm working on a minecart loop to feed my quantum stockpiles. You know, I've got mist generators running all over the place to try and keep people happy. You know,
Oh my
the
god.
standard stuff.
I mean, if you can read the ASCII, good for you, man. Well, if you can read the tile set.
Yeah, I kind of go in and out of it. Sometimes I'm not in the mode to keep playing Dwarf Fortress, so
Yeah,
that's okay.
I could see that.
How about you, Luke? What you up to?
Two exciting things for me. Finally started in on this book I've been eyeing for a while, Lonesome Dove. I just saw the author to it had died, so I figured probably now is a good time to pick it up. But he's like super famous American Western author. He's actually the guy who wrote the book that then became the movie Brokeback Mountain. So he's like into the Western genre of like Colorado and Texas and all that. So pretty cool cowboy book so far. And started playing Loop Hero, speaking of video games. Oh my god, that game's so much fun. It's like if you combined being a DM for a game only you are playing and Magic the Gathering into one game, it is Loop Hero.
Weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's super fun. You build decks and then you play these decks and the hero just runs the loop, and you'll put out like, okay, my deck is I'm gonna build villages and then these spooky vampire mansions next to the villages, because after a while, like, I have to fight through a ton of vampires, but then the vampire like runs this little town super efficiently. He becomes the count that runs it, and then they give me better quests. So every time I go around the loop, like, I get sweet quests, and then I get better gear, and my hero gets stronger. It's just like a crazy mix of mechanics that like works very nicely and is very different than like any other game I played. It's fun.
Nice. Nice.
That's cool.
Neil?
Nothing much going on my side. I mean, working hard. We bought a house, or we're trying to buy a house, so just waiting for the news to come through to see whether or not all the final loan agreements and everything are good. It feels like it's taking forever, but it's really not. It's just a couple of days. It's just driving me batshit crazy.
Well, yeah, it's the hurry up and wait, right?
Yeah, it's the hurry up and wait aspect of it. Other than that, I'm just really looking forward to taking some time off in a couple of months. Wondering how I'm going to go from where I am now to the point where I'm taking some time off in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like forever.
Me too, man. I'm looking forward to taking off sometime in July, likely.
Same.
I'll be back in Canada, and the company I work for has a week shutdown in the summer. So, yeah.
Oh, wow, you guys are lucky. Shutting down in summer?
Yeah, we have a week shutdown first week of July, I think.
You had a week shutdown in December, a week shutdown in the summer. You guys are lucky.
Yep, our company really is trying to make sure we don't burn out.
Yeah. People aren't taking vacation, work from home. So, like...
Yeah.
And we do work longer days. Yes, we're lucky that we still have our jobs during COVID, but we work longer days now because you don't commute. You get up, you turn on your thing, you work. you work while eating your lunch. You know, it
I find that I spend a lot more time thinking about work. Whether or not I'm physically sitting behind my computer or not, I spend a lot more time thinking about work because there's no switch off, there's no commute, there's no disconnect.
No context switch, right? Yeah.
The best analogy I've heard anybody use on it is, it's not that I'm working from home, I'm living at work now, you know?
Right.
I'm like living at the office. It's just always here. It's just always
Go ahead, Neil.
I was just going to say, to be fair, I don't want to go back. Like, if I can be remote permanently, I'd do that.
Oh, same.
But there are some drawbacks. Like, occasionally there is the situation where I go, actually, it would be useful if I was at the office to do this. Like, getting in front of a whiteboard, for example, with somebody and just drawing pictures.
People,
like every once in a while, just doing that would be great. But
yeah, that's super useful. I miss being able to like role play and play game in person. There's a bit of delay on stream here talking to you guys, so like getting in those character conversations gets a little. It's kind of weird going off just like pictures and stuff on the screen.
I'll have you know, right? I've been playing with you guys remotely for longer than the rest of you guys have been remotely, right? So there was a time when I was the only one playing remotely, and you guys would have a conversation, and I would sit here going, just trying to get into the conversation.
Hybrid mode was hard. It was hard.
That's brutal.
Yes, it was hard for that exact reason.
Right.
Because it's easy to interject when people are around the table, when they're right across from you. You can,
But it's okay. I mean, it was never a problem for us.
Yeah, we play hybrid right now on our Saturdays, and it's tough.
It takes extra effort. Good thing about playing hybrid was that when we had to play all remote, it was very easy to set up.
Yeah.
Plus, we've been doing all remote with the other crew like forever, so this is pretty simple. There are some stream games that shut down because of COVID. Like, I don't think Matt Coville's stream, I forget what they're called, The Chain or something like that. I think COVID killed that campaign. So we've been lucky in that respect that we, have the technology and.
Nice.
Well, we were three guys. We were three different families buying houses last month, so that nearly killed our stream because we were offline for a while.
Yep. I was looking for a video game. Still kind of am. I'm kind of picky about how I spend my extra time. But to hold me over, I've picked up Stellaris again.
Oh, you like playing Stellaris. You've played that a couple of times.
Stellaris is good.
Stellaris
expansions and stuff out?
Yeah, Stellaris is pretty solid. Like in the last week, I've restarted a game 3 times because I didn't like the starting position of the Empire. Like, you get a few hours in and you're like, oh, my neighbors suck, and I'm never gonna get out of this little corner of the galaxy that I'm like corked up in. It's like
reroll.
Yep. I'm humans. I want to interact with other humanoids, not the fungus people who hate me and the robots that hate me.
It's evil bugs, just everywhere.
Just evil bugs everywhere. I'm like, I kind of wanted to have like more of a diplomacy game, and I'm like, all these murderous, horrible non-humanoids that wanna eat me. Yeah, it's one of those games where you could get 10 hours in and you've lost and don't know it yet.
You're on the slide.
So I've restarted my human Imperium, a human-centric bunch of assholes, asshole human empire a few times now.
As a side note, I apologize. I could not eat dinner before the game started, so you guys have to put up with me eating pizza.
That's fine. It's pizza. It's as long as you mute. Mute while chewing. You'd be no worse than Mark eating chips or something like that from the other crew. So. All right, why don't we do a recap of what happened last game? Last game was called Three Little Pigs. The party frees artists and artisans from their polymorph forms, and speak at length with Zedediah, patron of the arts of the Magnolia House. He shares that he offered sanctuary to Seneschal Neolandrus and the tortured artist Salvatore Scream, or Salvatore. before they were captured by Piltz and his goons. The party teleports to Magnolia's house, the Magnolia House, to confront the Inquisitor Leori Vaus of the Templars of Fane. And then I think after you sent her packing, you teleported back with a bunch of the residents of the Magnolia House, who are now running around in your manor. Ludo says hi to Cinta and says, I'll show you around. And the bunch of them kind of do a flurried exploration of this room and leave the Jerks Emeritus alone in their JE lounge.
Well, that was quite the experience. Ugh.
Quite so.
What are your plans now?
I think I'm going to put down the door.
What do you mean experience? We showed up, we talked to some lady, and we came home. It was like
Did we?
incredibly uneventful.
It seems like a week has passed since then, though my memory, I swear, gets worse every day. Well, I think, though, there's a lot going on, and we would benefit from having a bit more information before making any provocative motions in town.
Is there a reason why you're still hiding your bad hand inside your body?
Oh, am I? Oh, yes, well, I suppose I have noticed it does smell a bit, so I think unconsciously I prefer to keep it in there.
Well, a shower every once in a while wouldn't hurt.
Well, yes, I have been meaning to talk to that creature in there.
All right, so what's our plan for the rest of the day?
Oh, I am certainly curious about the whereabouts of our artist friend. Perhaps some scrying or some other magical accoutrements could help us get to the bottom here.
I think that's certainly possible. I scried earlier today, so I don't have one ready, but I could do it tomorrow. If either of you have one, I have plenty of fingernails.
Yes, I have one. Yes.
You have one? I don't have one prepared. Also, just to be clear, I mean, I can scry, but it's a divination spell. It costs me 2 slots, I'm afraid.
No, don't worry. You handle the fireballs, I'll handle the scrying.
Seems like a fair trade.
Scry on Salvatore. I do have one other idea. There is this, what was it, Neolandrus fellow who's been kidnapped by these cloud giants, Gigantia and her ilk. I assume, being cloud giants, that their presence hasn't passed unnoticed in the city, and the city has its way of having eyes and ears all over. Those eyes and ears tend to pass notes. Perhaps we could do a little digging. I will pull out the blank spell book that you've used you've seen the professor use to cast his what the hell is that spell called? It's been so long.
Yeah, Pagebound Epiphany.
That's the one. And I will.
Sure. Evidence of cloud giants or clan gigantes?
Yes. That could be an interesting answer for us. I do find it quite cheeky that this Vencarlo fellow is masquerading about the town at night. That could be a bit of a fun way to spend an evening if we were looking for things to do.
Oh, certainly.
But
yes.
To be honest, if we had it my way, I will say as I stand up and approach the booze cabinet over here at the far end of the room, I vote that we stay in the mansion, proceed to empty this liquor cabinet, and delve as deep into the library as our fingers can take us.
As fun as that sounds, I'm pretty sure we can actually do something today. I'm just blanking on what. But I think scrying a little bit is a good start.
We could go kill some alchemists.
All the alchemists, of course, yes.
Why don't we do
Good.
that?
I'm not sure which ones. Like a frontal assault on the tower?
Oh yeah, they got a
Yes,
big tower. I'm sure we're totally prepared to do this and do a
No.
complete 180 from our current strategy.
I'm not quite interested until we've got a
Yeah,
better way in than that.
I agree. I don't think a frontal assault's going to work.
But
Shall
collecting some information, certainly wise. Yes.
Shall we do an inconspicuous pass around town and see what we can find?
Can we do an inconspicuous pass around town?
Well, I guess
Is
not if
that a
Thurgus.
thing we do?
I think maybe if you and Professor go, I don't think Thurgus and I are inconspicuous
Perhaps.
in any shape or form, but
Yes, I am known for my inconspicuous modes of travel about town.
Perhaps the professor can do his scrying and book reading, and I could fly in and talk with some fae.
that may not be a bad idea. Well, maybe somebody knows something.
It is a bit dangerous, fair say.
Let's-
I do worry about you flying into town alone.
Let's also talk to the artists.
It is
Perhaps they know about Clan Gigantes.
It is a very dangerous city, says Pixel, who got captured the last
As
time
you
you
well
said
know,
her.
Pixel, yes, yes, certainly.
The familiars and Makronom have found like a tile board game, and the four of them are now playing some four-way checkers game.
Who's winning?
I don't know, the smartest person probably.
And do they include Christopher?
They do.
Christopher's only int 10.
Christopher has int 10. The crawling hand has int 10. Pixel's int 10. Uh-oh.
Makronom?
Makronom Gobbler has int 8.
Oh no, they're just smashing up Makronom. He
word
doesn't
of
quite
advice,
get how to play, but he's having fun.
Let the mimic win.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
I suppose let's prepare this scrying spell, shall we?
Yes, and then some page-bound epiphany perhaps as well, to see if we can learn about the locale of the Gigantes clan.
Oh, that sounds interesting and quick at hand. Let's try. First question. Let's see. Here we are.
I'm happy
Opening
to
up
assist you.
my blank book and setting it on the table so everybody can see and can see the pages, and the hand I think will be on tap to, like, you know, that thing it would do in the Addams Family where it just like very quickly be able to spin through pages in a book and like.
All right, so it comes running over in between one of its turns to help you out.
Okay, so I want to use Pagebound Epiphany to do a knowledge local station, and I want to try and fill the book with, like, I assume there's a bunch of like sneak thieves in the night, low level street thugs and stuff. There's a lot of like messages being passed about town. Some of them are probably going to be in code and hard to understand, but I want to try and fill the book, since it just comes from information around, you know, this in this plane. And I'm going to ask it, have anyone seen cloud giants about town, or have cloud giants been seen about town? So I'm thinking I can probably get some of this like low-level street thug note passing, or maybe some reports up to
It is a knowledge check, not so. It won't do recent events. It will do events that. It has to be written down in a book somewhere. You
Yeah, I
magically
guess it-
scour the world's libraries. So,
Yeah, it has a good library.
so are you asking where do cloud giants live?
I'm going to ask in station, local station still, when cloud giants are come to visit station, where are they known to like congregate? Surely they've been here throughout the eons and they have stayed in a hotel or something.
Like which buildings are built for cloud giants?
Yeah.
And like, I think a cloud giant like tribe visiting the city would be like kind of a delegation that would make an imprint on some sort of ledger in this city somewhere, you know? Okay, so
There aren't a lot of
Max
places that can house cloud giants.
So I'm getting 10 from the Pagebound Epiphany, plus 18 for my knowledge local, and some assists. 2 from Pharisee. Anybody else assisting?
What knowledge do I have to assist here?
I think you got a fortune point too.
Ooh, a fortune point?
Yeah, you did. You got a fortune point last week.
Well, there's 2 that are in chat from Wither for the first 2
Knowledge
rolls.
local station.
I don't have local station. I've got Great Wheel.
I think I want to do a fortune point on that scry we have to do here in a second.
Yeah, Great Wheel would tell you where in the pearls do they live, and you're asking where do they congregate in Grand Station.
Yeah, where do they stay in station? When the tribe of the Cloud Giants visits Grand Station, you know, where does that delegation stay? Okay, so just 2 from Pharisee. There was some talk of points in chat. Are those?
Yeah, you get a +2 from Wither.
Nice, thank you, Wither. All right, here we go. Oh my god, I know rolled in that one.
Yeah, but it's the total that counts for skill checks.
Come on, I'm really not helping you guys out there with all this. Okay, lay it on me.
33. Okay, well, the older districts in Grand Station would have some of the old giantish foundations. There are cloud giants that live in the old station neighborhood and anywhere higher up in the mountains. There are actual residents in Grand Station that are cloud giants.
Oh yeah?
A mountain
And they-
lair, though, kind of makes sense, too.
You know, when they visit, they don't wander too far. It's almost like they visit by some means by which they don't venture too far down from old station, which is the neighborhood where the halls of somnolence are, where Vencarlo's house was, or is, where the old theater of Grand Station was. That neighborhood, anywhere there and up, is where visiting cloud giants would travel. The streets are wide, the buildings are old, the foundations are actually could have been from time when the giants were here. And because of their great age and great strength, they're probably deemed as special and probably interact with more of a higher part of society than the dregs down in Slewborough.
Yeah, with the riffraff. These are hoity-toity, fancy, aristocrat kind of people. Well, it seems that if they're anywhere, they're in old station, full of old money, and people who love the smell of their own old money.
Great, so let's go knock down some fancy houses and find us some pigs.
Perhaps they have a house in the clouds. Or a trail leading up to some mountain lair.
Well, I'm thinking if somebody comes into town and they're cloud people, they would likely visit with other cloud people.
Sure.
So where we
Yes.
find one, we might find more.
That is a reasonable assumption. There is
Yes.
also that dream
Yes.
wall. Their own dreams.
Or he might
Possible.
just know, given that he is a cloud giant.
Yeah.
You just send him a message or something.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yes.
Perhaps can you commune with him in your dreams tonight? Is that an option? Do we have any way to send him a message? Do you have a sending spell?
Fresh out of those.
I can cast a sending spell. I don't have one prepared, but I can use my magic ring to do it once a day. It's not from an physician's school book.
Vladimir, yes, of course. He seemed to like us reasonably well. We're looking for Gia Giganti, and where she might keep her prisoners, I guess.
So how shall I phrase this? We're looking for Gia Giganti.
And do you have any idea where she might keep her guests? Quotations. And then done. That's less than 25 words. We're good.
Okay, hold on. What's his name again, Ferrisay?
Vladimir. Grandpa Vladimir was how we knew him.
Who shall I say is asking? He. Fair point. Fair point. Let's see. So we want to say Grandpa Vladimir. We are looking for Gia Giganti and her guests. What do we know about her guests that we can help? We're only at 11 words.
Oink.
Turned into pigs. Spends time with a Rakshasa. What else do we know about her? She has Vencarlo and
Possibly Neolandrus.
Neolandrus.
Wasn't he in like a fire or something?
His academy was attacked and burned.
Was he in the academy when it got burned down?
Yeah, I think so. I think they captured him and some of his men because Ludo was with him into a pig, and so was another fighting academy soldier, a student.
So I'm at 24 words here.
Great, send it.
If we say Grandpa any others who were turned into pigs.
Perfect. Add one more word. Say thanks.
Ah, yes, manners. Ah, I toast to you.
Appreciated.
Will he know how to respond?
Yeah, he gets that for free, doesn't it? Don't you know how your magic works?
No, I'm just being absolutely sure here to make sure we're not messing this up.
We're looking for
we are a party, not an eye.
Discern lies.
Okay, I created a sending sheet in the journal's correspondence section in the OneNote.
Okay, you want me to... just waiting for it to load.
Yeah, maybe paste it in chat while we're waiting. There we go.
I put it in there.
Okay. All right, you cast a spell and go ahead and say what you're going to say. Is it Ferris?
Grandpa Vladamir, we are looking for Gia Gigante and her guests Vencarlo and Neolandrus, or any others who were turned into pigs. Thanks.
All right, there's a bit of a pause. Let me type his response. Zephyros. Gia is a nemesis of mine. She dreams with nightmares currently and must be close to the somnolent halls. One nightmare is Rakshasa. Other?
Well, I think we have a response. I think we know where to go look. If we know where the somnolent halls are.
The area, but not close enough. There's a lot of big mansions back away from the road there. Hard place to go poking about all that neighborhood.
But it is a place to start for sure. Nearby is nearby.
And if we can get to within, I guess, about 1,000 feet, I can do a locate object if we can locate something that Gia would have.
Let me try another question here. I'll spell recall pagebound epiphany, and I will ask knowledge history. How did become the chief of her tribe, the matriarch and feared oracle of her tribe?
Ownership of the houses that are in that district be recorded somewhere, like some sort of registration.
Yep.
That's a good one. Anybody assist on this one?
Thurgus doesn't know that. If Thurgus said that out loud, Pharisee would nod, like there is.
Yeah, you saw me burn a deed from the Hall of Records earlier when we came across the ownership to the...
Your family's name, don't they?
Not anymore. Those were burned, I believe, in a fire, tragically.
Can we just look up like some sort of book where like people live and just go down the list?
Ahmed is spending enough points for a villain point for the next worthy foe.
Ooh. Interesting. I'm gonna do this knowledge history. Is anyone lean down to look at the book as well?
Yes. I'll assist you in that.
Knowledge history? Is
Yeah.
that what? I can assist knowledge history as well.
Is Thurgis a historically minded fellow? History of the Blood Bear?
And he knows some stuff about religion.
So anything that would be on record about Gia Gigantia and how she became the chieftain of this tribe.
Through notoriety in conquering the pearl called Sky Tree for her people. And defeating her own grandfather in combat. So the first thing was she was of the right bloodline. Second, it was she gained enough notoriety and power. Third, she then enacted some ancient rite of battle to replace her grandfather.
Interesting.
With a 50, something about her parents going mad kind of left the path open for her to ascend. Something about their own dreams and nightmares turned against them.
Ooh.
Dangerous for her to know too much about us, then, isn't it? Find
Yeah.
us in our sleep.
Yeah. Quite right.
We don't sleep so much anymore, though, so that's nice.
Well, some of us are lucky.
Some of us.
Skytree is not a terminal node in the wheel. It is another pearl that's kind of hanging out there somewhere. Which means the train doesn't go to Skytree.
Yeah.
You have to go to another stop and then hike to like a pearl gate.
Something like that, yes.
I'm going to go hang out with the artists for a bit and ask if they've sold any art to the Cloud Giants, to the Gigantes clan. Do they have any relationship with them?
That's a good idea.
Oh, I'll keep plugging away in here. Come back if you find anything interesting.
Thurgis got the highest one. Thurgis, there's still this weird scarf that you haven't figured out what to do with yet. It's lying on the table. It's magical, and it's got like this weird crest of 3 stacked what look like paintings and a goblet on top of it, or like a crystalline decanter on top of it.
Oi, you lot, this scarf, you guys are supposed to do magic stuff, so figure this shit out. Otherwise, I'm gonna fuck it up and see if destroying it makes them pop out.
I looked at it and couldn't quite figure it out. Perhaps Zephyros could take a look, and could we just peel them off? It's not quite like that, I don't think.
Zephyros he just sort of flies closer to take a look.
He does got some paintings in there, right?
He doesn't quite have an identify ready, and he can't cast one right now. Have we cast detect magic on this yet?
Yeah. We found that there was some like auras emanating from it, but the scarf itself wasn't magical. I got an idea though. It's possible that like maybe these arty folks are like hawking their wares underground and using this as like a way to move about paintings and stuff like that without having to box them up in big fragile boxes. So why don't we go ask those artists if they know how to get these paintings out of the scarf?
I think that's a fair idea.
Yes, seems likely.
Okay.
I'm gonna drag the scarf over to the artist.
Yeah, it feels like you guys are gonna go and bug the artists. The familiars all stay behind to continue their game of tiles. It's an overly simplistic game for people with, the high int scores that some of your characters have, but for the int 10, it's perfect.
I find Makronam to be best suited for my competition.
Okay, it's already a zoo in the guest hall. Somehow there's paint spilled on the big table. There's the fairy dragon swinging from a chandelier. The Grig is playing a little jaunty tune. Etcher has got his tools all around. He's doing something, and Gomez the sculptor looks like he's turned into a statue and is just getting some rest. Zedediah is in his massive bed, kind of propped up and eating grapes. Ludo is sitting at the table, just enjoying the fun.
I still have one of your sculptures, Gomez. It's quite delightful.
Oh. And an eye opens and then closes. If you didn't know this creature was a gargoyle, you would have never been able to determine the statue from a living creature.
Zedediah, have you done any business or been patronized, I suppose, by the Cloud Giant clan, the Gigantes? Are you familiar with them?
I don't get many giants coming down to the Magnolia house.
Have they bought anything and you've delivered it to them? Anything like that?
Giants? No,
Not so
not
much.
really.
All right.
Why?
He struggles to get out of bed to see what's going on.
I think we're looking for your painter friend. And we think that they're very interested in your painter friend.
Oh, well, we weren't exactly friends. You know the type. Sort of a loner and kept to himself. And
Naturally.
well, it was actually quite useless when it came to certain social interactions. And
Still, you stick up for your colleagues.
yes, for those that I sponsor.
Sure.
He looks at Zephyros and Thurgus.
Why are you looking at me?
He looks away.
I look at the mess that's happening on this table,
Yep.
and then I look at the rest of my party, and I go like this.
Okay.
Oh, you found Pilz's scarf.
Yes. Yes, we did. What do you know of it?
Well, I saw him take some of Salvatore's paintings and put them in there.
You know how to get them out.
He shrugs.
He put down the scarf. He put the paintings on the scarf. He did a little tune, and then the paintings got absorbed. There they are.
Yes. Along with this crystal goblet thing.
Yeah, see, he put it on top.
All right. Can we take that off? Can it be taken off separately?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Perhaps if we give it
I've taken a look at
day-
it. I'm not sure how it works.
If we give it a day, perhaps I could see what latent memories may still linger in the fabric. I'm afraid I've already delved into the history of Salvatore's his easel. What was it? His palette earlier today. So I can't do it right now, but tomorrow, yes, tomorrow.
We're here because of Salvatore, says Etcher. Yeah, freak.
Yeah. Could either of you take a look at it just today without your identifications and see if anything strikes you?
I'll work with the professor and see if we can figure it out.
Yeah,
I believe
I think one of you already rolled your spellcraft roll and rolled poorly, and that's why. Okay, that was Pharisee. Okay,
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm not taking a lead on this at all.
got it.
I'll go forward
I
and
understand
lean
this
in,
thing.
So
and I'll use my monocle to identify it.
I have a plus
Oh,
21
geez.
spellcraft, so I can. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that helping out sounds awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not a magic item, so it's an item that has magic on it. Subtle difference. Let me just check to see if the identify helps in this case.
Fair say, you gonna do anything about this mess, or are you gonna make me do it?
I mean, we're just all waiting to
The
see what
paint
happens.
on the table.
Yeah, they're trashing the place.
The place? Sir, you were complaining about all of the ghosts and the terrible drafts and the moaning only weeks ago.
Yeah,
This
the
place...
identify doesn't help you in this case, but you still get to roll.
Spellcraft?
Yep.
What's your spellcraft check?
22.
Okay, you've one better than me, so you get a +2 from me.
30.
So the DC is you didn't see it cast. I think it's DC 15.
Who's got UMD?
15 plus double plus you didn't see it cast, so it's 25. The
not a
DC is
magic
35.
item.
You don't know. It's radiating a moderate transmutation.
I'm not sure. This is Thurgis's room is down here. That's why he's
So-
care about this.
It's not a magic item. It's the scarf isn't magical. It's that magic's been cast on it, you say?
That's as much as you've got.
So
The scarf has been the target of a spell.
can you just dispel it?
Oh, believe we used a bunch of dispels today. Let's see, in the old noggin, do we still have
I've certainly used all of mine.
I only prepared one, and we've used mine.
Dispel.
We can do it in the morning, perhaps.
Yes, well, I will draw Bacob's wand to cast it silently, and I will stare at the thing, and I will point and attempt to dispel some magic on it.
Okay, roll a d20. Add your level, subtract 11.
The hardest part about this is knowing what spell it is.
Okay, the caster of said spell is not first level wizard, so
Afraid not, gentlemen, ladies.
All right.
Well,
What
those
was
are,
the song he played? Do you remember how it goes?
who are you asking?
What's his name? The guy who told us about it.
Zedediah?
Zedediah.
no, I'm not a musician. I'm an art critique.
I can't help you till tomorrow, Fergus, unfortunately. But tomorrow, perhaps. Wait, maybe this will help. I'll cast Arcane Sight on myself, and I'll look really intensely at the magic residue and see if I can figure out how it's holding this all together. Concentrate, see if I can glean any more insights that we're getting. So I can see magical auras, so I'll see the magical aura of the magic that is affecting this thing.
Yeah, this is just a quicker version of detect magic.
Sorry, my headset cut out. What did you say?
It's just a quicker version of detect magic. Detect magic requires you to stand there for 3 rounds to examine the aura. This just
We
makes
already
it
know
so
it's a
you can look at it.
transmutation spell.
Got it. Okay. That's not working at all. Tomorrow, I'll say as I shrug. But you did have a good idea in the hall. What about house records for this Gigantia's home or estate?
Certainly a thought, yes. They surely exist. We could look them up.
I will pull out my empty spell book and I will do knowledge local, and I will cast spell recall pagebound epiphany, and I will ask, where is the Gigantia estate in station?
Okay.
And I will try and get some house deed or something like that.
All right, so you end up getting a bunch of official-looking documents flying through your page-bound epiphany. Give me a knowledge local check. Knowledge, nobility, and royalty would also work.
I
can aid you on either, and I will.
7 plus an aid, 39.
Okay. Your book flipped through it very, very quickly. So quickly you could barely see what they were. It was a blur of deeds and pages and inheritance like notes, and it does not look like the Gigantes have an estate here in Grand Station.
Interesting. Interesting.
I wonder if they own something that's not exactly an estate. A guest house or a stables, who knows?
My guess is it's probably somewhere close to the top of the neighborhood, as far up the mountain
Yes.
as they could buy.
That would make the most sense. That would be the place to look, for sure.
Your spell saved you a trip to the Hall of Records.
I really wanted to
Delightful.
roleplay that bureaucracy, though, you know.
The red tape brigade.
I'd like to file a form to officially request the records for the Gigantia estate, please, sir. We don't have it. Go home.
The what?
Okay, well, if that's done, maybe some scrying then?
I think some scrying is in order. There's a good chance that we won't see anything, but it's good to know. I could do a little bit of a reading first, too. We found this painter that paints with the color of the tyrant. Perhaps we could do something formal and ask Solara if they're involved with Baba Yaga.
Do you think she would listen to our calls for help?
I think
I could always
continuing.
try.
I think continuing to talk to her is a good idea. So even if she doesn't have feedback for us, at least we're still communicating.
It
Okay,
has been a while.
going back to the JE lounge, where you left Zalara's scrying tool.
Yes. Oh, but her anger! The last time she's shown herself, it was such a sight to behold.
It will be fine. We haven't made any deals with demons since then, and we're trying to figure out if this is a step towards the people who've kidnapped her son.
Well, you're made of sterner stuff than I am, fair to say. I'll say that. Ooh, gives me the creeps.
Sure. I'll take the cards out, tap them on the table, give them a little shuffle.
Ferris just looks at the professor making a comment about something giving him the creeps.
Yep. Crawling Hand informs the professor with sign language that Christopher won the tile game.
Good job, little buddy.
Oh, they're morons! Oh,
All right, that's not very nice.
oh they can't hear me.
right,
As
Marty,
we begin
I have an idea.
to...
Yep.
So I'm gonna use, because this thing's starting to make me mad. I'm gonna use one of my uses of shenaniganry. I'm gonna barroom baller for advanced weapon training for item mastery feat for dispel mastery, and I'm gonna point my sword at this scarf and make a dispel check.
Okay.
You scoff!
Zephyros, that's it. He drops his sword,
the loot!
I'm done with this shit.
swirls it around, points it down on the table, and there's a flash
I
of
want to
magic.
use one of my. Can I use a fortune point on a dispel check?
You certainly can. It's a d20 roll, max. You've got 3 of them in the tank, so that drops it to 2.
Okay. So what's this roll?
D20 plus your caster level. And then
Okay.
subtract
So
11.
2 minus 11.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1d20 plus 8 plus 2 minus 11. Yeah.
Are you an 8th level caster?
Yeah. Inquisitor 8.
Okay.
All right.
And so that's the caster level of the magic that you dispel. And you know what? The
It's
bard,
5th level sorcerer wizard.
the bard was an 11th level bard. So you dispel.
Ah!
So it's almost like
All right, loot.
you thought he was going to destroy the scarf. Instead, the scarf just unfolds. It expands on the table, and sitting on the scarf is a stack of 3 paintings that are framed, and this beautiful decanter that is standing on top of the framed art.
Well,
And then
well.
with a flourish, and then I put it away.
Zephyrus looks at him and goes,
I told you guys,
what are
swords
you asking
solve
us?
everything.
What
You are
are
an
you
excellent
asking
wizard
us to
after
do?
all.
I
You can
wasted
do
a
it.
dispel earlier, sir.
Yeah.
Those spells don't just prepare themselves.
All right. First, the platinum and crystal decanter is just a beautiful piece of artwork, and it's worth. I'll paste it at the top of your items.
Anything in it?
Platinum and crystal decanter is worth about 750 gold pieces. Anything in it, it looks like it's got the smell of maybe some brandy that was in it, but it has been drunk.
Too bad its protections were not sufficient.
And it does not detect its magic, correct?
It does
If we
not.
Okay.
Why do you think these particular items were put in the scarf?
The painting,
Valuable.
there
Just
are
hide them.
3 of them.
Perhaps insurance? Who knows?
One is a thin humanoid wearing shadows as he stands framed by a dolmen of great size. A dolmen's kind of like a Stonehenge, picture that. The figure's blue eyes are the only color in this piece and glow with anger. The next one is of a rugged mountain range above a desert under a brilliant blue sky. And I've got these all described in the Loot and Treasure.
Good.
The caravan crosses the dune in the foreground. The riders' faces, upon careful inspection, are tiny skulls. The last painting is of a handsome man in the process of peeling away the flesh of his arms as if he were taking off a pair of gloves. Underneath his arms are muscular and covered in glittering blue scales. The man's expression is one of delight, yet his eyes are empty pits of blackness. Half seen in the shadows beyond him are thousands of impaled humanoids on towering wooden poles and pikes, erected in the shadows of an indistinct shape looming on the horizon, perhaps a castle, a mountain, or something else. All of the blues used in these 3 Salvatore Scream paintings are of the same hue as that one card in Zolari's
Yes.
deck.
A triptych for the tyrant. A caravan going under a blue sky across a dune. Could it be a Bastera? Could this be the Bastera Badlands? A skeletal caravan?
Certainly.
Is it
could
us?
Be. Could be.
Can I just do a straight up appraise on these 3? I know Salvatore's art's pretty hot right now. How expensive of paintings are we?
Yeah, aside from all the people that want him because of how special he is, if you just wanted to objectively put value on these pieces of art, go ahead.
33, 48, 43.
In order that I describe them: 1,000 gold, 2,000 gold, 4,000 gold. And I'm not sure if you're showing these to Zedediah Geed, but with your appraise checks, you actually think you know the names of them. One is simply called the Dolmen. The second one is called the Desert. And the third one's called Skin Deep.
Do we know if these are recent paintings or whether these are older works of his?
With the appraise, you know that he was working on these within the last year.
And his paintings there's significance to his paintings, right? He's seeing some stuff.
We know
That's
that
the
he was
assumption.
gifted by several gods, or at least it was rumored, or something to that effect, because
Yeah.
he painted exactly what he saw, and so he had several gifts.
So, I'm wondering if there's not a subtext in some of these images. For example, the thin humanoid, framed by a dolmen of great size. Are these not perhaps locations we should be interested in?
Perhaps.
Seems possible. Yes. Hmm.
Now, what about this rugged mountain range? We were talking about where cloud people would be.
Yes.
And we were saying maybe somewhere up in the mountains. This is a mountain range.
It's a desert also. We crossed a desert in a caravan.
Yes.
Ringed by mountains as well. I'll say as I cast 3 unseen servants and spell recall them and have them hold up the paintings like around the room for us.
How many are in the caravan? Could it be a vision of us? Is there a
Well-
large one and an old one?
Well, it says tiny.
The caravan is
Too small, perhaps.
too small. It could definitely be a party.
But they're skulls. We can make out that they're skulls. Can we make out that it's like a human skull, an elephant person skull, anything? Okay.
No, and all the skulls look similar. They're so small that
And to be fair, if these people live in the mountains, and if they don't come out from the mountains very often, then there would be caravans going to them.
Sure. This first one could be Gedrin, and the doorway could be, or the dolmen could be a doorway.
Yes, that could be.
Can I spell recall pagebound epiphany and ask and try and see if I recognize knowledge geography, the mountain range, as a place that exists in the pearls? I'll spend as I start studying a book as Pharisee and Zephyros continue to discuss.
I mean, the handsome man in the process of peeling away his arms. Apart from the handsomeness part, it kind of sounds like the professor.
Perhaps it's all an illusion.
Maybe it's an illusion. Maybe when...
What's the professor's alter ego, the brother's name?
Perhaps it is his brother.
Sinclair.
Sinclair. Perhaps it's Sinclair doing what the professor is doing.
So you end up just getting a bunch of pictures of mountains flashing by you. There's not any landmarks that are descriptive enough for you to understand where this is. There are half a dozen places with your knowledge check of 47 that have mountains with some sort of sand next to them.
This last one, is that Dr. Davilas, perhaps?
And it's also a painting. It's a painting that, I don't know, there's a style to it where you don't think he was looking at the exact place.
Sure.
It wasn't I'm standing by the riverside and painting exactly what I see. There's a touch of madness and sort of like blurriness to some of the details. And you recall that he saw things in his dreams. And that sometimes his dreams were more like nightmares, and sometimes he was racked by these dreams while awake.
Pharisee, you're talking about the skin one?
Yeah, Davilas was a servant of perhaps the tyrant, and his machinations resulted in the deaths of thousands, or so he
I
desired.
think if he's supposed to be a man peeling away flesh, right? You see him there, and he's taking off his skin, and underneath is those scales. I feel like it's a dragon hiding as a person. It's supposed to be like the tyrant in human form is finally revealing itself, and it's killed everybody.
Could indeed, yes, yes.
Well, good, that's great. Because that means the professor is not going to kill all of humanity.
Unless the professor's actually a dragon.
Oh, yes, no dragon in here.
Hey, Professor, let me peel back some of the skin on your hand real quick.
Oh, already did it for you. See, no dragon underneath. I'll say as I show you my, like, bone finger.
I take out the brilliant energy dagger. No, come here for a second. I gotta see the other hand.
Oh, yes, yeah, I will mumble and wave my arms and look befuddled and cast Vanish and cast Silent Image and have a silent professor go over.
Professor, while you're working on the scrying, I'm just going to do a little reading here. I'll take the shuffled cards and just take... what's a reading? 5, 7?
It depends on your school, I believe. There's some who go one way, some another. Some.
Does the voice come from the image or from the invisible professor?
Let's see here.
The invisible
Probably
professor.
the invisible professor, definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
I've got ridiculous perception. I turn around and I go chase the professor.
Oh, let's call it. Do I recall what the professor dealt in past readings?
As far as how many cards,
I thought it was 3.
Maybe.
Oh, that could be.
Depends. I think it's been just different. I think I just kind of went with the flow and get this deck out, use the deck to, as I'm running away from Fergus, hey, get away from me! You get the deck out! And
That's not how the Fae solve problems, though. I'll take 3 cards.
Get away from me! Stop it! Stop it!
Take them, hold them up above my head, turn them over, and let them fall onto the table.
Okay. 2 cards fall face down, and the one in the middle falls face up. Give me a d6, Matt.
You bet. 3.
Okay, 1, 2. All right, the order of stats is con. So the suit is the shield, which is one's health, stamina, increased ability to survive injuries or disease.
Here we are in front of these paintings inspired by the tyrant's visions.
In a harrowing reading, it more broadly symbolizes health, the home, and pain.
Oh.
All right, give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a D9.
3.
Is it the desert?
It's the desert. This is the chaotic good card of Constitution. It represents an environment too difficult for anyone to survive without help.
We already know we're supposed to go to the fucking desert.
The Sphinx may represent a
This
source
stupid
of
card.
salvation from plague, and immediately you know that with the reading, with the 2 cards beside it, it's saying you shouldn't go to the desert yet.
Not time to go there yet. Not time. The desert. Wonderful.
It would be, that journey would be too dangerous, and you would be just like the little caravan, dead and not even know it yet.
But perhaps when these pearls collapse, as everyone seems to be afraid they are doing, perhaps then flee to the desert for strength.
Perhaps we may be strong enough then, and they may be weak enough then.
You feel Zalara's presence. She's there. She's talking to you through the cards.
Thank you, Zalara. We know where not to go. When we think about these cloud giants that have captured this painter, is it tied to the Archfey? Are they all in this together? Is this a path to the great evil that that you've asked us to befuddle?
I'll reach out a shaking hand and try and touch one of the backs of a card and try and activate the major image illusion as Fairsafe finishes the question.
Okay, there's a cold anger that comes from the card. At least she's not aggressively angry.
Yeah, okay.
The anger is kind of lingering. Let me find Zalara's token.
It's like when Grandma's mad at you or something, steely Grandma. She has to
We
keep
seek
you
the
around.
key to the door, Zalara.
Oh, and Zalara's cards can do an image, right? An illusion.
Yeah, they can do a major image illusion of. Usually it's her, but like Zalara kind of speaks through the major image a lot of the time. At least when the professor would use them.
All right. The illusion seems to be at first like a spider spinning its web, and then it kind of solidifies into like a dream charm. And as the dream charm starts spinning, the dream charm turns in like a dream catcher, like kind of like a rounded bunch of sticks with interlocking spokes and things hanging from it. But as it starts spinning, you're actually seeing the grand wheel of the pearls spinning.
The dream is the pearls, sure. The dream spans the pearls, perhaps.
And then it goes back to the spider spinning the web. A web that connects all the pearls.
All connected by something that wishes them to be so.
More and more.
Perhaps not a friend.
The spider has 3 spots on its bulbous thorax.
Ooh.
The triad. The triad that has spun the pearls? Or the triad that seeks to break them?
It seems to shift between these 3 images.
Can it be both? Can there be a triad spinning the pearls and a triad seeking to break them?
Could be. The spider is moving about them, perhaps.
It begins to spin faster.
Do any pearls start to blink out?
No, but as it spins faster, it looks like the spider's web is completely superimposed upon the pearls themselves.
The spider has spun a web across all of them, captured them all. This isn't the maker of the pearls. This is the force that seeks to control them, isn't it?
And it is something external to the pearls. Didn't we see some creatures when we were on the train?
The Demodans, yes.
The Demodans, yes.
The servants of the Thanatonic Titans?
Right. Could this be them?
Perhaps. Does the necromancer and the dragon and the other one, do they serve the Thanatonic Titans? Are they seeking to break this cage for them, or for their own ends?
I think that the why is less important than the what.
Sure.
I think the fact that it's spinning so fast means we're running out of time, and I think 3 dots, or there's probably 3 houses in whatever cloud district we're supposed to go to, and it means we got to go kill someone today.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Thurgus is biased towards killing something today.
The sword does seem to be a common answer when we ask questions with Thurgus around, and
You knock it, but it totally worked.
I can only admit
It opens doors. It makes paintings. It paints people. It's a very good sword.
It's a sword of wisdom.
It makes people fly. It's a great sword.
one last question, my dear. I'll take the desert and set it face down back on top of the deck. I'll take the other 2 cards and just leaf them into the deck without looking at them.
Okay.
Set it aside and say, do we even need the key? Or is Thurgus right? The key is right there, and we just need to find the people that guard a gate and put them to the key.
It's interesting. Zalara has already, as the cards went away, the illusion went away. She's not answering. It looks like her
I'll
magic
hold the
is-
deck and put it back in my pouch. I wonder.
It didn't look like she didn't want to answer. It's just you activated her powers, and looks like she was done talking for the day.
Yeah.
Fair to say, if you would indulge an old man, maybe I could speak with her. I still do wear her amulet. I do know a bit of her trade.
I'll take the cards out and face down, fan them on the table, and say, sure. If she wants to speak with you, she's welcome to. The Fae don't wish to control that.
All right, I will cast audio visual hallucination on myself, and then I will try and do a reading. I'll have to spell recall this one real quick. So I'm going to try and make myself hallucinate that I can see Zalara's presence. I feel her in the room, and I feel her anger, and I'm going to let that kind of just let my mind imagine the worst and let that play out in an illusion. I think anybody who wants to be in on this can let themselves experience the hallucination. I've got enough to like get us all.
I'll share it with you.
Yeah, Zephyros will do the same.
Okay,
Perhaps I can learn a little bit about how to use this thing from you, Professor.
And then I
So
will
you're making
start-
everyone delude. The delusion is that you all hear an angry Zalara chewing you out about something.
Yeah, she can. We hear like words and stuff too. I'll pass concentration of this illusion to the crawling claw, who has 1 foot in the spirit world.
So there is an angry spirit of Zalara that is yelling at the professor that she's not rescuing her son.
And then I will start to do a profession fortune telling with the deck.
Okay, you're going to perform a hero reading while you're all deluded into thinking that Zalara is pissed off and doesn't think you're doing enough to find her son.
Yes.
Okay?
And I'm gonna attempt to answer the.
Thurgus
what was-
walks away and goes into the forge.
I will look at Pharisee and say, "Repeat your question, madam."
Well, Thurgus's key seems to open many doors. Perhaps there's a door that could be opened by putting its inhabitants to the key.
Zalara, if you can hear us, is there a way out of these pearls with the tools we have? Can we find another key? Oh. I will say as I attempt to do this. Fortune telling. 12.
Okay, the deck agrees with your delusion. All the cards go flying back into a pile, and they go flying back into the pouch where they're kept, and then the latch closes. And you can still hear the delusion of Zalara screaming at you that you need to find her child.
Afraid not, Pharisee. Sorry about that.
Yes, well, we do know we need to find the child.
The key,
Just one moment.
the key
If
that
he
you're
makes-
asking about is what again?
Oh, I'm trying to subtly ask if we should just set Thurgus loose on the satyrs and try and find a portal there.
Ah.
The answer is likely no, but
And
do
I'm
it
trying
anyway.
to be mysterious about it. You know, as one does.
Give me int checks. This is for, unfortunately, Thurgus is not in the room, and then I don't think he has this knowledge, but Pharisee, Professor, and Zephyros do. All this talk of keys.
Is my int right now? It is plus 8.
19.
That's a good one.
26.
23.
May or may not be relevant, but just the talk of keys. There was another key that seemed to be important that came into and out of your possession, and I think it was the weird icicle that San had carried with him.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah, what was... I actually wanted that, but I don't think I managed to get it.
Yeah. I remember you guys glanced at it. You went, it could be some sort of device or wand, and then it never came up again.
Yeah.
That here.
Yeah. Yeah, it acts as a key to a magic lock. Right. Yeah.
Perhaps that is another key. Maybe a specific one out of a specific pearl, or to a specific pearl.
Now this is just Pharisee recalling all this talk of keys.
There was something about it being incredibly cold too.
Yes.
And maybe being a key to a place that was incredibly cold. To winter.
Perhaps, yes.
All right. It feels like you guys have exhausted a bunch of spells, and you're going to do something in the morrow when you have recovered spells. Is that the?
I think we might do one scrying, but then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Who are you scrying upon?
Salvatore?
You already attempted to scry upon Vencarlo, and you got nothing.
Yeah. This would tell us if Salvatore is with Vencarlo, which we sort of think he is, we sort of assume he is.
Yep.
Or unluckily held against his will by a completely different person doing the same thing.
I would expect that this would tell us nothing. But if it tells us something other than nothing, it's definitely told us something.
All right.
So there's that.
Are you using any components with the scry spell?
Yeah, we have some of his toenails and stuff.
Use some of this for sure.
Okay, so you use one of his toenail clippings that he saved for himself in his own strange madness, which means that you have met the subject, and you have a body part, so that's plus 10 to the DC. So what's the DC of your scry spell?
I can increase it as well.
The casting time's 1 hour, so I don't know if you can increase
I couldn't do that. I would have to do it. Maybe a swift on the last turn when the scry goes off, but that's crazy. Okay, so plus 10 to the DC, you said?
Yep.
So my DC is normally 21 plus spell level. It's a 4th circle spell, so 25 plus 10, 35.
Okay, the scrying device is foggy, but mists begin to swirl, and then they just sort of end up stopping, and they're dark and gray as the same.
Settles it.
So probably in the same place.
I think probably the most prudent course of action is to go visit that Grandfather Vladimir fellow. He was trying to tell us more before the sending cut out. Something about this cloud giant is his rival, lives in the same neighborhood, they fight each other in dreams.
It does seem like a good plan.
Perhaps in the morning we go over there?
Indeed.
Or go this evening and have a dream with him. That is his preferred...
Or we could scry tomorrow, says Pixel. She thinks scrying is fun.
I don't know that we'll learn too much other than seeing more mist, my dear. I do like mist, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid it's too boring.
Oh, what else could we look for and peep on?
Oh,
We're not
lots of...
peeping on anybody.
Well, isn't that what this thing is? It's a peeping glass. You peep
We
through
could
Try
it
to
with
look at the Rakshasa. We could try to look at...
your peepers.
We could try to look for the other Ludo. But there's a likelihood that they're all in the same place. We should definitely keep watch. The other Ludo knows about this place and might come for us.
Wait, what?
But cannot enter.
He's been in before.
What's a Rakbaja?
It's a demon of sorts that often takes the form of a Leonid with its hands reversed, facing the wrong direction.
He doesn't know what to make of your description. He's now looking at Zalara's silvery glass. You're pretty sure he wants to eat it. It's like the perfect size to fit in Makronom's mouth.
Please, Makronov, don't eat that.
No, I was just waiting for one of you to ask me to keep it or eat it for you for eating or keeping.
Let's keep it. Do nothing with it for the moment.
Oh, okay, you almost said keep it.
Yes, I realize that. Sorry about that.
Are you sure? Huh?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Well, unless we can find someone or something for Thurgus to smash, I think we'll have to break the bad news to him.
Yeah, Thurgus ends up...
You just hear like a tink.
Thurgus and Christopher end up plinging around in the forge kitchen for a while. That
He can go
night,
hunting in the woods for satyr if he wishes, but
that night is uneventful. You were able to re-prepare your spells. You can meet again. You're in, this time, the kitchen. It's morning. Looks like Thurgus slept down in the kitchen because of the near party that is going on.
Thurgus actually casts Keep Watch at night now.
Okay.
So he stays like on top of the building and just casts Keep Watch and just stays up there. He doesn't sleep anymore. He just casts Keep Watch every night.
Okay. You did avoid your own sleeping area because it's turned into almost like a near...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
At least the first night where they were all reunited, they had kind of a party. And
It's a disgusting mess. I'm not going there anymore.
it was a little bit loud. Next morning, party gathers in the kitchen for some Java and to raid the pantry for some dry but sweet bread. Now what?
Well, shall we go visit Grandpa Vladimir to start this search for the Gigantias?
We should scry again.
Oh, we could always take the orb with us.
More scrying?
we could. We've got a place to put it.
Crawling Claw goes over and taps the orb.
Is there something in particular the three of you would like to scry? You're quite keen on it this morning. Perhaps that dashing captain fellow, maybe we could catch him at an inopportune time during his morning constitutional? That might be great fun for you. Is that what you're after?
I think Makronom might like it, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps the scales come from the man in the painting. And we could use a scale to try and scry on the dragon that came from.
Yes, the scales. The scales. Can we take those out?
Yep,
The
they're.
scales?
You guys learned last game that they were baby dragon scales, like very young dragon scales.
I will hold one in my hand.
They are large. They are large enough to be spell components.
I'll hold it in my hand and study it for a minute and do psychometry on it and see who this scale belonged to. When it molted, what was this baby dragon's memories?
Okay, so the first question is who?
I don't know if it's really questions. I think I just try and read memories off of it. I don't really get to direct the memories at all. I think just kind of try and.
Okay, so you get flashes of a horrible last moments of a very small dragon that was being hunted, and the feeling of a spear ripping through its chest. The second piece of information is that the person who hunted it then skinned it. The creature is no more, and it was but a small dragonling.
Yes, well, it seems nothing too interesting with this one. The creature was hunted, stabbed through the chest with a spear, skinned, and then sold as spell components, or in our case, pigment for paint.
So pigment or spell components is what it's good for us, then?
Yes. Not much use as a scrying tool, though.
Good to know. Be ashamed to waste an hour on a dead thing.
Yes, Pixel, Macronon, Icky Mesa, is that satisfy your curiosity?
Oh yeah, I thought we were looking for Vencarlo.
Ah, yes, Vencarlo.
We are looking for Vencarlo, yes.
Have we tried to scry on him? No, just this,
We've tried several times.
You did.
Okay, you've been looking in your glass ball this whole time. When did the wizard...
Vencarlo is in the same place.
When does it get to be Thurgis's way? We've done this for like 2 days. I'm so bored. We went to a theater that was like forever ago, and then we stood around and we played with fucking cards. Oh my god, why don't we just go there and yell at people and stab them and find out where the fucking pig is? It's super easy. You just go. It's like rich people.
Where?
To where the rich people are. And then we yell at them and shake them and say, it's the Inquisition. Tell me where he is. Ah! And if they don't give us an answer, we go, ah! And we go to the next one. And sooner or later they fucking talk.
Talk to Vladamir. And then we can go to the place he sends us with our swords out.
Yes, good lord.
Okay, you get one more. We're talking to one more person. It's the last one, Fairset, I swear to God.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness, calm down. You're going to have a heart attack, Fergus.
And Fergus is just panting.
All right.
All right, group up. Let's go teleport there, shall we?
For context, today, Christopher is taking Skill Focus Intimidate.
Okay. Who's teleporting to where?
Let's see. We're going to the Halls of Somnolence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you wish to do ascending instead, but I think we're going to want to go to that neighborhood. We may as well just.
Don't even suggest it, Pharisee. Don't even suggest it. Look at him.
How many teleports do you expect I should have prepared today?
Hold on, Fergus. This will only take a moment. You know this is important.
Okay.
I have one prepared.
We'll each need one to get there, and then one to. Oh, yeah, of course. and then one to get back. We'll need 2 groups.
Okay, 2 teleports it is.
Or one group if it's just 4 of you.
If it's the 4 of us and you do the casting, then yes. If we want to take Makranam, then it will take more.
I think Makranam can stick around for today.
Oh, I can make sure everything's okay here at the
Yes.
at the villa.
If you teleport there and back, I'll have a couple of teleports as well to teleport out with anybody that we find.
Yeah, I'm going to go spend time with Ludo. He doesn't
Sounds good
remember
to
me
me.
very much, though, so I'm going to have to get to know him again.
I'll help Ludo again tonight.
Okay.
So Zephyrus will be the one casting the teleport, and it'll be the 4 of us going out.
You hear that, Fergus? We've got it all figured out. We're leaving now.
It's like Ludo hit his strudel and doesn't remember anything. You're not
We're not
supposed
even gonna.
You're not supposed to hit your strudel very hard.
We're not even gonna follow that thread of strudels that Bokranoms laying in front of us. We're just gonna go, okay?
Okay.
Oodles of schools.
All right. So you end up at the. Where is it?
We have to roll, right?
Yeah,
To
give me a
teleport.
percentile. You've been there several times. It's a safe spot. It's not. It's in the same pearl.
21.
You're fine. But where is this place? The halls of somnolence. Okay, so are you being rude and appearing like inside buildings? Or are you appearing at the front gate? What's the arrival?
I think we'd appear at the front gate.
Okay, it takes a while, but eventually, where is he?
Hey, man. I didn't see you out here.
Yep. There's a bunch of huskies, including some dire huskies that are running around in the courtyard when you get there. You can see a lot of children. Some of the children are big Thurgus, like they're half-giant children. And where is the uncle? There we go. Uncle Zong eventually... Oh, yeah, I didn't see you there. Ooh, it looked like he was taking a nap near the door, like on watch. He lets you in. Come on in, come on in. Back so soon?
Uncle Zong, I don't suppose you have any, rats or dire rats that need killed. Afraid my friend, he's a bit high-strung at the moment.
Dire rats? No. We got dogs. They eat all the dire rats. A bunch of the husky puppies.
I'm okay. I was just feeling a little bit claustrophobic in that house. I'm
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
The husky
Please, continue, sir.
puppies are the size of full-size dogs. One of them runs up to Thurgus and is like standing up against his armor. They seem to be fearless of the group of you.
I pat him on the head.
Okay. You do see that the very large mothers and fathers of that little pack do watch that. And, eventually, you push your way past the puppies. Oh yeah, I need to speak to Vladamir. Yeah, he's been in and out of it since you came here last. He said something about you talking to him. Did you guys visit the dream?
Not quite.
Oh, well, everyone visits a dream. It's just only those who are able to walk in the dreams and remember. Advanced stage of lucid. What am I telling you this for? You've already been through it before. And he starts rolling a cigarette, but it's probably not a cigarette.
Yes, well, a pleasure as always.
Vladimir.
You're still with us.
Vladimir. Yep. You go upstairs and there's oversized furniture, and you notice that Patriarch Vladimir is he is... Oh, Akronam's here. Oops, let's delete him. He's currently sitting in a very large chair, writing something in a book. Everything that he has is grand in size. cloud giants are huge, like 20 feet tall or something like that. The big, giant quilled pen. He's writing in a book. The book even looks small in his hands, but it's ginormous compared to the books that you read. Ah. I got your sending. Did you get my replies, Ephiros?
I did.
I'm sure you have questions. Well, I'll leave you to it there unless you need anything, Gramps. It is all right, Zone. You can go.
Some tea, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Uncle Zong.
I mean, I have many questions, but I think we're very interested to know about it being a nemesis of yours.
The Vladimir claps his hands and a bunch of pillows, like big throw pillows and kind of beanbag chairs and like things kind of get arranged in a circle around him. Giving you a spot to sit. What do you wish to know?
Nemesis how? How is it that Gia is a nemesis of yours? And how close by is she?
Gia is an enemy of mine, the nemesis. This goes back a long time. Her and I have studied under the same teacher, one who has taught us to reach out into the dream realm and project ourselves there. Her and I have a different view of what the dream represents and how it should be used.
Does she actively use the dreams?
I would not want to be your nemesis if you could not protect your own mind while you sleep. But she has come here to this pearl, and she has been involved in a strange constellation of dreams that I have sensed. There are several others that are with her. Dream of common men, locked in an eternal dream, as if she is visiting them. Perhaps she is trying to learn from them. And there are two others that are in this constellation. Two of nightmares. One is a creature that is not a man. And two is a creature that is a man, but is a confluence of nightmares. And this constellation has been dreaming for many days and many nights now, all together. It started, well, maybe a few nights ago.
Can I suggest a name? Chateau. This confluence of things sounds like a chimera, which is one of the chateaux.
No. It is, he knows what you're talking about. He goes, no, it is not three creatures become one. It is a group of people that are dreaming together.
Oh.
Is it this
But they have been dreaming together and close together too much. Anyone around those nightmares would have waken up unless there was something that was keeping them under.
There is a famous artist in this town who dreams of horrific godhead imagery. Is it possible that he is this constellation of nightmares? She keeps him in the eternal dream and uses his connection to project those nightmares out or benefit from them somehow.
She has interrogated people before by invading their dreams.
Have you heard of this?
I believe Gia did this to her own parents.
So if we find them, how do we rescue them? Do we just wake them up? Do we have to go into the dreams?
There are things that can be used to keep someone in the dream before. Fair say, Professor Zephyros, when you went into the dream before, we gave you a petal of the dream lotus.
Yes, yes.
There is a way to connect oneself to the very plant itself. It grows like vines into a central node. If you have a lotus plant, you can use it to enter dreaming.
Perhaps this is the way into Gia's lair. If we can find them in dreams, perhaps we could bring them out?
The lotus plant is dangerous to deal with. If you fell asleep near the lotus plant, it puts its tendrils inside.
Oh.
If you try to rip someone out of such a dreaming state, it can kill them.
Is this lady stronger in the dreams than she is awake?
A normal giant, no, is much weaker in a dream, actually. He smiles. But one with training, one with presence, one with towering intellect and great wisdom is a great and powerful being in the dream state.
What if we were to
Dangerous in
catch her
all
while she was
forms.
sleeping?
Then maybe you would learn what she is trying to do.
But, like, she's got to be somewhere while she's sleeping, right?
Yes.
So, if she was asleep and we had a big sword, couldn't we just, like...
If she is in charge of the dreams that have locked the others together, which she is in no doubt is, then she must remain alive until at least she awakens.
Got it. So if we kill her in her sleep, we might lose the other two forever in the dream realm?
Or they may die.
If they died, could we just, like, bring them back? With, like, a really powerful frog priest?
I do not know what this frog priest is, but it sounds amusing. You mean Bukrabek? Ah, yes. Perhaps. Sending yourself into the dream is projecting your soul into another quasi-plane that overlaps with
Yeah, that sounds
ours.
really dangerous. But, like, killing someone and then bringing back the other ones sounds very easy. This is like all Thurgis's logic.
Do you know where the cloud giants of the Gigantes make their home when they're in station? Nearby, yes. Is it up? Do they have a house?
They do not. I know of only one family in Old Station that actually grows the lotus.
Ah, this then is the path, isn't it?
It is House Arkona.
House Arkona. You must have decent relations with them because you have petals yourself.
House Arkona does provide us with this material. They have never given us, however, a plant. For if we had the plant itself, we would not have to buy the petals.
Yes.
A plant itself would allow us to enter the dream as a cohesive whole, allow one to guide the dream. It would be very powerful. If she is definitely here in Grand Station. Neil, your typing's pretty loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If she is there with the plant, perhaps she's controlled it and controlled them. If so, we might need to do some damage to them. You would presumably value greatly a return of the plant to someone that could care for it properly, like yourself.
The Arkona family is strong. They're an old family here in Grand Station, and I also think that there is a sickness in that family. I think in that family you will find walking nightmares.
Oh, come now, Vladimir. Don't be so dramatic. We've all got skeletons in our closets after all.
No, I am speaking of things that look like men, but that are not.
Oh, like dragons.
I was about to say that, Thurgus. Good call.
Curious that you think that all bad things are dragons. No, not dragons. Something else.
Nah, we got intelligence about a walking man who's peeling off his skin and he's got dragon scales underneath. I was just curious.
Well, we know it's scales. We don't know that it's dragon scales.
I don't know. They were pretty blue.
How does one fight a walking nightmare? How does one protect themselves from a walking nightmare?
I know that there are clusters of them there, and you'll find one walking nightmare in that constellation of dreamers.
Is this the, what is the name of that devilishly twisted hand cat?
The Rakshasa?
Yes, is this the abomination of which you speak?
It could be. I have kept my people from interacting deeply with that family. We have a understanding that we do not tread upon each other's domain.
We won't drop your name then if we pay them a visit.
It would make sense that if this constellation of dreamers that are not waking up, one of which is Gia, my cousin.
Well, you may want to rethink your stance on these Arkona types. They seem to be deeply in league with her as well, and as you can see, the city's not in good shape. I fear...
He just admitted that Patriarch Vladimir is actually a member of Clan Gigantes, or at least related to it.
Yeah.
And at times they are chaining Vladimir. Perhaps you would consider challenging her, become rightful heir to this clan, put it back on the straight and narrow?
Well, if I may, if I was reading between the lines, there's a sickness, and you need like a doctor to go and cut out the sickness so that everything else can heal and go back to normal, yeah?
I think it could help.
I would not send my own kin to the Arkona Palace
to
cause problems. What I'm saying is that if you're looking for people who are dreaming, including a man who is clearly mad by the appearance of his nightmares from afar, it is likely there. You'll find them. Or at least, you'll find out where the plant has been taken if their plants are missing.
That then is the place. The one with the most twisted dreams is perhaps Salvatore himself.
It could be this painter you said, yes. This painter lives in this district, but I have not seen it. I have not seen him nearby for some time until recent.
Ah, interesting. Do you know where his old house was? Perhaps we could search that.
It is down the road, I think. I think he is neighbors of Vencarlo.
Ah, perhaps. We should take a look and see if it's been looted and burned. But yes. Then onward to the Arkona.
Apparently, maybe that's how Vencarlo knows Salvatore. Hey, yeah, it's the crazy painter that lives next door.
Yeah.
Shitty neighbor I have.
Well, that makes some sense.
He's just always just yelling about demons and painting horrific things. Do consider, though, Vladimir, that perhaps the clan could use some new leadership. I don't know the ways of succession for Cloud Giants, but bloodline is a factor, I've heard.
There is a trick you can use to help you wake up from a dream you cannot escape.
Ah.